show. I said I met these three guys, and you know it's true. Let me tell you and explain them all to you. I met this dude with the name of a hat. I didn't even walk away, I didn't give him no rap. But then he got real mad, and he got a little tired. If he worked for me, you know he would be fired. He wears a Kango, and that is cute. But he ain't got the money, and he ain't got the loot. And every time that I see him, he's always a begging. And all the other girls that he's always trying to leg it. Every time that I see him, he says around. You see, compared to me, it's weak compared to mine. Every time that I know that I am saying something fresher in any category, I'm considered the best. And every time that I say it, there ain't nothing less. And everybody knows I will win the contest. And after that came the educated rapper. His fingers start to snap and my hands start to clap. But every time that I see him, everything he say, he rockin' to the beat and he comes this way. He said, yeah, you know your mother's, her name is Mary. And from what I heard, your father is a fairy. But every time I see him, he's saying something new. But let me explain to him what he should do. He should be like me, a fine MC. Don't never have to bite, will always write. I have the freshest rhymes that I do recite. And after that, and you know it's true. But let me tell you something else about the doctor too. He ain't really cute and he ain't great. He don't even know how to operate. He came up to me with some crabbish rap. But let me tell you something, don't you know it was whack. So when he came up to me, I told him to step back. He said, you call yourself an MC? I said, this is true. He said, explain to me really what MCs must do. Better listen very close, cause I don't say this every day. My name is Roxanne, and they call me Shanté. But every time of that I say a rhyme, just like a disser. It ain't nothing you MCs when I miss it. So Kango, if you think you're cute, you think it's alright. That's why you said it in a language so you wouldn't have to bite. You started talking big Latin, didn't make no sense. You thought you was cute, yeah, you thought you was a prince. You're walking down the block cause I'm the one you're gonna clock. And everybody knows that you're all on my yacht. I'm just a devastating, always rocking, always have the fly that's pocket. Everybody knows it's me, the Roxanne. Everyone knows I am fresh in any category. Best every time I start to write it, everyone is just somebody. Every time I do it, yeah, you know it is a mirror. I get on the beat as you can see. So the UTFO crew, you know what you can do. Let me tell you one for me and then I'll tell you one for you. And every time you say a rhyme, just like a disser, it ain't nothing that I don't wanna miss her. And if you think it's right and I'm right in your beat, well then you just better know and listen to me. Because my name is Roxanne and I came to say I rock it to the beat and I do it this way. I'm conceited, never beat it, never heard of the fetus. I rock it to the beat and you know it is a meter. The Roxanne. And if you wanna play a little game for me, let me show you what you can do, baby. Cause with a twist of my cheek and a twist of my wrist, I have all the guys dropping down like this. Yeah, I am fly, and you must admit, but everybody knows I don't go for it. So if you're trying to be cute and you're trying to be fine, you need to cut it out cause it's all in your mind. Trying to be like me, yeah, it is very hard to think you a god, but you do Elon. Trying to be cute and you're trying to be fly. Don't you know you wish you could be my guy so I could take you home, make you relax. And everybody knows that you're out there trying to text like corn on the car. You're always trying to rob. You need to be out there looking for a job. Yeah, you're trying to meet and talk about Roxanne, but let me let you know you're not a real man. Cause a Roxanne needs a man, and yes, someone fresh who always dressed. Someone, yes, who will never fess. And then I'll say, yeah, forget the rest. You gotta be cute and you're trying to be fly, but all you wanna be is Roxanne's guy. Because I turned you down without a frown. Embarrassed you in front of your friends, make you look like a clown. And all you do is get real mad. And you talk about me and make me look bad. But everybody knows how the story goes. There's no ifs, no ands, no buts, or suppose. No coke up your nose, no dope in your veins. And then it won't cause no kind of pain. But yet and still, you're trying to be fly. I asked you a question, I wanna know why. Why'd you have to make a record about me? The Roxanne.
What's going on, everybody? I'm here to do a review for the Netflix movie Roxanne Roxanne. I actually meant to do this particular review a few days ago when I watched the movie for the first time, but I ended up getting lazy and then days just ended up passing and everything like that. So I said, let me just take advantage of doing that right now. I'm wearing this because I just got out of the gym, so just disregard that. Overall, this movie was very, very good. I actually really enjoyed it. The reason it made me want to watch it is because one of my coworkers kept talking about it, and I said, you know what, on one of my off days, I'm going to just sit down and actually watch it, and I actually really enjoyed it. But basically, the movie is about this female hip-hop artist by the name of Roxanne Shanté. That's not her actual actual name. Shanté, that is actually her name, but she just threw the name Roxanne in there. And she's from New York, and she's the oldest of, I think it's 4 siblings, I think it's all girls, I believe it was. And she's raised by her mother, played by Nia Long. Nia Long killed it, like, as her mother. She played the hell out of that part as her mother. Her mother basically wants the traditional life for her, which is just to go to school, get a job, and everything like that. But Roxanne Shanté, she didn't really want that. She wanted to become a hip-hop artist. And what I liked about her ambition is that she knew her value, she knew her worth. So whenever people wanted to battle rap her and everything like that, she would always excuse me, she would always make sure to not render her services for free. She always made sure that she got paid. And her hype person, I forget her name. She always was there to hype her up, back her up. She was like always, it was almost like she was her manager. And you know, at first I thought she was gonna be the one to like kind of turn on her, but she didn't. She stuck with her through thick and thin, and all her highs and her mini lows, because she had a lot of lows, and I'm gonna touch on some of those in this review. But she basically, like I said, was a hip-hop artist. She was definitely one of the pioneering female MCs that opened the doors for a lot of female hip-hop artists that we have of yesterday and of today. So they definitely have to pay homage to someone like her, especially since she got started when she was only 14 years old. She got started in the game really young. So it was very interesting to see. One of my favorite parts of the movie was definitely at the very beginning of the movie, where it started off when she was a little girl, and they you know, she was coming to battle rap somebody, and it was a guy. Because, you know, hip-hop at the time was pretty much male-dominated. So to have to battle rap against a little girl and then end up losing, like the guy ended up losing. They didn't show it, but we kind of insinuate, you know, that he ended up losing the rap battle. And that was just a pretty big deal. Like, this little girl is taking on guys who are older than her, and she's just, like, killing them in every battle that she does. And like I said, she made sure that she didn't do anything for free. Every time, it seemed like every time she did a battle and everything like that, she got older, the more money she requested, and most people ended up you know, paying her, you know, what she felt that she deserved. And, you know, I can't even knock her hustle. I really can't. I would say one of the messed up parts of this movie was the part where, and I hope that many of you, this is probably another reason why I'm doing this review a little bit later, because hopefully by this time many of y'all have already seen it, or, you know, if you haven't, just go and watch it. One of the messed up parts about the movie was the one involving her mother and the man that she was with. Her mother, you know, worked hard through the day to save money to get out of the apartment and get this new house. And basically the man she was with said, you know, that they were able to like get the house, and they were going to move. Well, that didn't happen, because the man took the money that the mother had worked so hard for and just ran off with it. So they were sitting there waiting for him to come with the movie van. They already had the stuff already packed up. The hours keep going by. He never showed up. I said, that man ran off and took that money, and that was just so, you know, messed up. Oh, before I forget, Mahershala Ali, Academy Award winner. I was wondering where he was at, because I haven't seen him in a while. He played in this movie. He played a really fucked up character. He basically, like, the way we get introduced to him is he comes into the store, and Roxanne and her friends have to like sit there and watch him while he go and handle his business. But y'all pretty much know what that is. And he wants her to watch his kid. She says, okay, you gotta pay me. So like for every little thing that she did, she was hustling in some form of fashion. And he said, you gotta watch my child while I go to do this. Came back and whatever. And that's how we got introduced to his character. But he was probably one of the most fucked up part of this movie, because here you have this guy who is probably old enough to be her dad or something like that. And here she is falling in love with this guy. And eventually one thing led to another. She moves in with him and things of that nature. And she got pregnant, I think, at the age of 16 by this older man, which today would count as statutory rape. Because I don't think, well, it had to be on the books back then, but, you know, no one really knew. So she ended up getting pregnant. She had her first child. I don't know how many children she has in real life, but that's the first child she had. And I think the only one with that guy, because, you know, they were together and everything of that nature. She moved in. But he ended up abusing her and everything like that. He took advantage of her. He was very jealous if any guy that came in close quarters with her, because, you know, she always had that line when she when she says, "My name is Roxanne, you know, and I want to be your man." You hear that a lot, and every time they said that and he was nearby, he always gave them this look like he just wanted to beat the shit out of him, or if she didn't say anything, he would beat the shit out of her, which he probably ended up doing anyway. Another part of this movie was when she moved out of her mom's apartment and was moving in the house with this guy, and you know, a guy that she just said that was like family to her. And the messed up part about it is she would walk around the house, you know, in her shorts and everything like that, and he will always look at her in some type of way and just says that you need to wear more clothes. And I knew where he was going with this because his urges was like, his sexual urges was there. But then the messed up part is that he tried to rape her and everything like that. He's like, you know what, you got to get out because, you know, if you stay here, something bad is going to happen. And she's like, you know what? No, she said, I have nowhere to go. She said, here, you can have me and everything like that. She was willing to allow herself to be taken advantage of just to have a place to lay her head because her mom kicked her out because she kept missing curfew. Her mom says, my door locks at 9 o'clock or is it 8 o'clock? And she kept missing curfew and her mom kicked her out. So I thought that part was kind of messed up on both parts. One, on his part because he tried to rape her and take advantage of her, and two, on her part because she was willing to allow herself to be taken advantage of just to have a place to stay. Like I said, she went through a lot of stuff, but overall, she was still one of the most popular female MCs of that time back in the 80s, especially back when it, like I said, was strictly male dominated. You didn't have a lot of women in hip hop at the time, especially at her age. She was only 14, 15, 16 years of age, and you know, that's really young for someone who was entering the game like that. So I think all the female hip hop MCs definitely have to pay homage to this woman because she definitely is a pioneer and she definitely did what she had to do, and she struggled a lot to get where she was at that time and even probably is to this day. As a matter of fact, I saw some pictures of her recently, and she still looks pretty much the same as she did, you know, back then. Of course, she's just a little bit older now, but she still looks very much the same, like she's aging well and whatnot. And I'm glad that her story is out there because it's a really, really good story that has been told. Because to be honest, I really didn't know much about her until this film. And I have to say that I really enjoyed her film and I really enjoyed her story being told in the way that it was being told. It seemed like it was all factual. They probably added some other things, elements in there for dramatic effect, but for the most part, they kept everything there. And of course, as you saw in the beginning of the video, her that rap that she did, that was the rap right there that put her on the map. That was that one right there, that one freestyle. As a matter of fact, leading up to it, how all of that happened was she was just going around washing clothes for her mom, and the guy just stuck his head out the window and was like, Shanté, I need you to come up here and rap on this beat. And she decided to like just rap on it, and it was meant to be just a demo. It wasn't meant to be an actual track, but then the demo actually got released because it was so good, and it ended up being on the radio, and that's how she became popular. Her name really got out there. Her name got in the newspaper. A lot of people walked up to her asking for an autograph, so it was almost like she became an overnight success because of that one famous freestyle, I guess you could say, because it wasn't really something that she wrote. It was something that she just thought off the top of her head. And they actually show that part in the film. Not the entire rap, but you'll actually see that part in the film. And when I saw that part, I said that was the part that I was waiting on because I was familiar with that in her actual life. But all in all, this movie was really good. If I had to give it a rating, I would give it a 9 out of 10. It was very good. It was very well done. If you haven't watched the movie yet, make sure that you do. It's on Netflix. It's called Roxanne Roxanne. It came out a couple weeks ago. It's, like I said, it's very good. Make sure you go and check that out. Support black talent. Oh, and I forgot a shout out to Shanté Adams. She's the one who played Roxanne Shanté. Ironically, her name is Shanté, and I believe this is her first role, or maybe her first big role. So she did a real good job. Casting did phenomenal. Everything about the film felt authentic. They shot it completely in New York. You can look at it and tell. And I always said that in New York, their apartment complexes pretty much all look the same. If you see one apartment complex in a certain part of New York, every last one of them look exactly the same. If you live in New York, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyway, y'all let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll talk to you all in the next